Fran, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, it's 5 p.m. We're going to call the regular city council meeting Thursday, February 23rd, 2023 to order. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Father Durkitz is here for the opening prayer. Thank you. Father Durkitz.
Thank you for having me. Let us pray. Oh God, you made us in your own image. Look with compassion on the whole human family. Take away the arrogance and hatred which infect our hearts. Break down the walls that separate us. Unite us in bonds of love and work through our struggle and confusion to accomplish your purposes on earth, that in your good time, all nations and peoples may serve you in harmony around your heavenly throne. And send down upon these citizens, our city staff, our mayor, and our council members, the spirit of wisdom, charity, and justice, that with steadfast purpose, they may faithfully serve in their offices to promote the well-being of all people through Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So we are going to start the meeting. Item number 3 is proclamations and presentations. And the first one is for our gas superintendent, Mitch Ortiz, who has served a total of 21 years tirelessly to the city of Port Aransas. Mitch, come on up. We have something for you. Okay. So you have to walk here. On behalf of the city, I want to thank you for your tireless years and dedication to the city of Port Aransas. 21 years is, wow, that's amazing. We can't thank you enough, and we're going to miss you and have to be a small token of our appreciation.
I'll be a sea guy now.
Okay. I think you got it. Okay, so our second item is a presentation from Keep Port Aransas Beautiful, KPAT board members Sue Seeloff and the Port Aransas High School student Elsa Temples on the beach aluminum can recycling program. Hello and welcome.
Oh, good evening. Just coming back to give my 3-month update on our program. That's been going very well. We have the 2 4x4 containers on the beach. Cost for the each container was roughly about $300. We have a little bit of materials left over, so that's why roughly. Durability, no repairs have been needed to the containers so far. I haven't heard anything from the city that it's been a problem with the garbage collectors or beach workers at all. The only thing is the signs will have to be replaced with a better material. They were kind of vinyl and they didn't stand up to the weather real well. So we'll have those remade and put on there. I had 5 volunteers for the first 3 months, and that was sufficient to empty the containers. I had to do it. This is my best one right here. I had to do it a couple of extra times, but for the most part, it worked well. Of course, then again, it's the off season. We only had to empty them once a week, and even in December, you could almost let that go twice a week with that bad weather that we had. I've already had more volunteers sign up this week for the busy months that are coming up, and I've increased the pickup to be twice a week starting March 1st. We recycled 250 pounds of aluminum cans in that time frame, and I was taking them over to Corpus to Dolphin Recycling and having them weighed. But I've stopped that now. We're just going to take them right to the transfer station and have Republic recycle them there. It's a lot easier. And then people can just take them there instead of leaving them on my porch. And we've had, the best thing is that we've had very little minimal contamination in these containers. I would say a handful, at least with my experience, a handful of plastic bottles, maybe some extra trash thrown, maybe a piece of paper or something, but minimal contamination, which shocks me because of with Sandfest, it can be a mess. I'd like to introduce Elsa Temples, like I said, my best volunteer for Port Aransas High.
I wrote a speech.
Great.
Hello.
Pictures up there.
Oh, I'm on the TV. Hello, everyone. The aluminum can recycle program has proven itself to be extremely effective in keeping our coastal beaches clean. This program is both simple and effective and even promotes recycling. As a Marlins in Action volunteer and the student representative for KPAB, I fully support moving forward with this program, whether that means adding more bins for can collection or creating some advertisements to inform tourists and locals alike. Thank you for your time. And does anyone have any questions?
Great job.
I think the see-through containers help.
Yeah.
Get the message out, because when we've done it in the past with solid containers, everyone just thinks it's trash can. So I think that's a big,
Yeah.
good design and yeah.
I thought maybe that was one of the reasons.
Yeah, I am frankly, like Susie said, I mean, I'm just really shocked that you don't get so much junk dumped in. Normally, you'll see everything, and, you know, Elsa, you can attest to this, but it's just been really, once in a while, somebody will put like a plastic bottle in, which is not a big deal.
Yeah.
You can do it, so.
I had a guy last night at the KPAB member meeting that we had last night that wants to build 10 more. So I told him, oh, let's let's go a little at a time. So I hope to have 2 more out this summer between the access road 1 and Y. To do that.
Elsa, how many Marlin in Action hours would you say you've accumulated working on this project?
Well, each time that I go to volunteer, it's about an hour. And I've volunteered probably like 5 times.
Oh, at least, yeah.
At least, so I get an hour each time, so I'm
Great.
probably up to like 6 or 7 hours.
Good, super proud of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, so we'll go on to item number 4, which is the public hearing. We actually have 4 items in the public hearing section, so I'll read them off and then we'll allow time under each item to speak on those items if you've signed up to speak, and we have some people that have done that. So, all right, so the first item is the Flex 22002610 flexible development request for Las Brisas subdivision FUD. Applicant, is proposing 11 standard city lots on a private street. Applicant is Krisha Property Holdings LP, property location 2530 South 11th Street. Is there anybody here wish to speak on that item? All right, we'll close that item and go to the next. Flex 23000052 flexible development request. Applicant is proposing an increase in density, a reduction in landscape requirements, a non-standard access road, and reduction in parking requirements, and is prohibiting short-term rentals in perpetuity for their FUD application. And it's Brandon Lafayette, property location 318 6th Street. And I believe based on some of these cards, some of you are here to speak on that item. If you want to speak during the public hearing, you can, or you can wait during the actual agenda item, which is item K. A little bit ways down the agenda. Up to you. And I have Edward Chilson, Herman Hamilton, Jeff Pierce, Craig King, and Darren Rhodes. Okay, hearing none, we'll wait to that item. All right, next public hearing is PPLT FPLT 23000049. Preliminary and final plat for a particular Harbor PUD Unit 1 being 13.93 acre tract of land out of 35 acre tract of land of the Samuel Ward Survey 591, Land Script 194, Abstract 407. Mustang Island State Land Survey, Nueces County, Texas, described in a special warranty deed from Premier Port Aransas Properties LLC to Ocean Harbor Inc., recorded in document number 20190037009, official public records of Nueces County, Texas. Applicants Ocean Harbor Inc., property location 5200 block of State Highway 361, a particular harbor PUD. Anybody for that? All right, we'll close that item, move to the next one. FPLT plat of Cinnamon Shore South Unit 6, part of Cinnamon Shore 2 PUD, 27.42 acres being a replat of lots 12 and 13 Mustang Island, a map of which is recorded in volume 38, pages 130 to 131, map records of Nueces County, Texas, and lot 31, block 4, lots 11 and 12, block 5, Cinnamon Shore South Unit 5, part of Cinnamon Shore 2 PUD, a map of which is recorded in volume 70, pages 16 to 19, map records of Nueces County, Texas, applicant Mustang Island Development 2 Inc., property location 5800 block of Highway 361. All right. So we'll close the public hearing section and move on to number 5 to citizen comments and reports. I do have some additional cards for citizen comments. Tyler Snyder. Would you like to come up and speak at this time? Okay, come on up.
Hey there, guys. How are you doing tonight? So I'm here to speak on behalf
Oh,
of,
sorry.
sorry,
You've never done this. It's
I have
3
not.
minutes. State your name and your address.
Okay.
Sorry.
Tyler Snyder, 301 JC Bar Boulevard, Port Aransas, Texas, 78373. I'm here to talk about the Wi-Fi at the marina. I'm a college student currently, and I work here. Well, I work in the Bluff now, but I've worked all over Port Aransas. I've lived here for a while. Just recently, my girlfriend and I moved into the marina on a boat, and it's really hard to get any homework done or anything like that with Wi-Fi. And I know rent's just been raised, and really I just came to speak in support of bringing Wi-Fi back. I've heard from multiple people that it was available to live aboards and people of the marina pre-Harvey, but it just never came back after Harvey. So not much to say about it, except it'd be really nice. And, you know, I figured I'd come and support it.
Okay.
But that's it for me, guys.
Thanks, Tyler.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Cynthia Adams Smith.
Hello, I'm Cynthia Adams Smith. I've also never done this before, but I just wanted to bring some, it's more of a public
Same
information.
address. I'm guessing.
Yes,
Okay.
actually, but we're separate topic.
Okay.
I just wanted to bring some information to the city council for any possible future improvements to the marina. Texas Parks and Wildlife actually with the assistance of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife provides the sport fish restoration program. And this is a partnership among anglers, boaters, and the fishing and boating industry. And its program is supported by taxes on fishing equipment, electric motor, sonar, and motorboat fuel. And these revenues are collected by the U.S. government and then redelegated to the states, and Texas Parks and Wildlife does that specifically for us down here. And they have a program for sewage pump out upgrades, and it's available to any marina, and all you do is pay for Parks and Wildlife. It's a grant that needs to be fulfilled, but it's 25% of the cities or marinas responsibility, and then 75% of that is provided by this fund. So I just wanted to make that aware to you. If the marina needs upgrades, they will do all of that. And I know other marinas in the area have utilized this program and gotten well over $100,000 from it. So I just wanted to keep that in mind, and just
Thank you.
public information.
Thank you very much. Okay, Sean Jackson.
Hello, council members. My name is Sean Jackson. My address is 301 JC Bar Boulevard. And I'm here to speak on number 9U, which is the Wi-Fi for the marina. I'm here to speak in support of it. I know that I was talking with the harbor master and he had some issues with Spectrum and CenturyLink and some of the issues. And we have a company that we've been using for CMS condos called System 7. They can do all troubleshooting over the phone and hook up your Wi-Fi on a computer. It's amazing. We don't have to wait for a Spectrum truck. So I know if that was one of the things the city was trying to hold back on, I can provide information for that company, and it's been very reliable for the 4 years we've been using it. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sean. Okay, Luke Daly. Okay. Maybe she left, I don't know. Okay. Okay, so we'll move on to the consent agenda, item 6. Item A, the city council minutes, B is an ordinance, C is an ordinance, D is an ordinance, E is a resolution. Were there any items in the consent agenda that council wishes to examine before approval of the consent agenda?
Off of the consent agenda.
Okay, B off of the consent agenda. Okay, we'll pull that.
I just got here. I'm working next door.
Okay, we're already on down to the item. Is there an item specifically you'd like to speak on at a later time, or is it a general
No,
citizen
just-
comment?
Citizen comment. Okay, we were told a few,
Just a second. Are y'all okay with allowing that since we've already moved
Yeah,
on to the
citizen
next
comment.
item?
we're in citizen comments.
No, we're not.
You missed.
We already moved on, Luke.
Oh,
That's
I
why,
moved on.
that's why I'm not trying to be rude. We just, we've already moved on.
I
to the
didn't
agenda.
understand. I was trying to set up next door. Okay. The Dunes thing. GLO.
Okay, you want to speak during that item?
Yes.
Okay, I will put you down. No problem. All right, so,
You want to scratch?
oh,
I
was
gonna
B.
Just point B.
B.
on it. I don't
Okay,
think
so
scratch it at
Oh,
all.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
the pull for
I
review.
just wanted to have
You said
some
pull.
more discussion.
Okay, sure. Any,
I know they had changes to the minutes today.
yes.
Did everybody get to go back through and look at them? Okay, I didn't, so,
Well, we can.
no, that's good. I mean, I'm good with moving
If
ahead.
you want to pull them and read through them for a few minutes, whatever. That's it.
No, just go.
Okay, any other items? Okay, do I have an emotion on the consent agenda?
A motion to approve removing item B.
All right,
Second,
all right, thank you. Any further discussion? Fran, please call the roll.
Councilmember Christensen,
Yes.
Councilmember Seeloff,
yes.
Councilmember Chambers,
Yes.
Councilmember Krueger,
Yes,
Mayor Pro Tem Owens,
Yes.
Councilmember Park,
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right. So we'll go ahead and discuss item B, which is ordinance, the second reading of repealing chapter 2 administration, article 9, Old Town Preservation Advisory Board by deleting said article in its entirety and providing for a severance, reading, penalty, and effective date.
Not disagreeing with the actual item. I think that should be done, but I'd like to just have a discussion on council. I mean, a lot of us have spoke to preservation of Old Town in one way or another. And if we do get rid of the Old Town Preservation Board, and I do agree with this motion, but it's. So, I mean, when we said, when we were running for office and things like that, hey, I'm gonna support Old Town. What was in your mind, I guess? I mean, does anyone want to speak to that? Are there any other ideas of what we can do? I know that in the last council meetings, this came up and the discussion really revolved around putting this out in the private sector, right, David? So it was pushing this back to the private sector and allowed, is there anything we as city council can do? Or do we just at this point put a nail in the coffin on Old Town and say, there's nothing as we as a city can do to delineate it or help historical structures? I mean, I'm looking, I don't want this to go through, but I do want us to think about what we could do differently.
Well, I think my thoughts were, I didn't want it to totally dissolve. I just didn't want to be our city staff to be involved, for them to keep their advisory board. But it just seemed like there was a lot of time spent and wheels turning and not much going on.
Mhm.
I actually talked to a couple and said that I would like for them to keep going and work with the PAPA and keep it
But
going.
not under
But
the auspices of this city is what you're saying.
that's my thought.
and I did work with Papa Hall and way before that advisory board. And they were on board with the advisory board. They weren't totally against that advisory board. So, I mean, if there's some other way to maybe get together and meet with them, which I have anyway, so. You know, in my own time and stuff. So a lot of people interested, it's just nobody wants the boundaries or even without the
I mean,
restrictions or
There's a lot
anything.
of stuff, I think, when this came through, we legally can't do it, it's city council, that's all there is to it. So I understand. The motion here, but I'm just like I said. Mayor, we have some ideas, you're looking, you're just waiting to speak, go
I'm
ahead.
waiting my time.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think, yes, for me personally, I think that there are a lot of things that I would like to see improved or preserved in particularly certain parts of Port Aransas. I mean, I don't have a specific sector that I think needs one thing or the other, but I do think there are a lot of programs throughout the state. The Scenic City program has a lot of the same kind of attributes and planning that we could examine. I've already started doing some of that. Actually, the executive director of that organization lives in Rockport. And so I think that there are ways that we can achieve some of the same goals. And doesn't have to be under this ordained group that, you know, but those people who are involved certainly can be involved in that process as well. So I don't know that it all has to be directly from the city, but I think there's things we as individual council people and the city can do. And then we can push back, particularly things that have to or would have to go through P and Z to get some of those things accomplished. So yeah, I'd like to see a lot of those things done, but I do think some of it probably will have to go through some of those other nonprofit organizations that, you know, can lead that charge and have in the past.
I think some of it was, where some of that came from was that the Historic Society said they really wouldn't do anything here until there was a district made, you know, so.
And then when they came through, they did a review and found they couldn't have any definable districts. Is that right, Dave?
No, it had to be 50% of historic. Now they've changed the numbers of years on historic buildings, so.
I think a long time ago when they were looking at that, I think the comments were that there weren't a lot of structures in Port Aransas that would qualify as historic structures under the Texas Historical Commission.
It had to be 50%.
Right, there was a
In a defined area.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. I mean, if you look at some of the boundaries of old towns, some of the newest buildings in the city are in Old Town. Right? So,
Mhm. But I think that's also things that are probably run through the comp plan too. There's things that we can do that are, and I think there's probably some ideas that are being proposed into the comp plan that would help with some of that as well. So all part of the planning process.
Okay, no other comments, I just would make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
All right, is there any further discussion? Fran, please call the roll.
Christensen,
Yes.
Councilmember Seelock,
Yes.
Councilmember Chambers,
Yes.
Councilmember Krueger,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Owen,
Yes.
Councilmember Park,
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, so item 7 is executive session. So
Could we move item F up? Possibly. Sandfest.
would y'all like to move item F up before the executive session?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, we'll move on to item F. Discussion take action on special events permit request from Texas Sandfest to conduct the 2023 Sandfest on the Port Aransas beach markers between 9 and 13 Avenue G and Access Road 1A, beginning April 1st through 18th for sand and festival site preparations, and April 14th through 16th for festival dates. Who's here? It looks like you. I can tell. I see the look in your eyes, Richard. Why are you sitting there? You can let him do it all by himself. Okay.
Hello. Thank you for moving the item up. So, we were just following up with the permit request, and everything's going well. Preparations have been and going for months and months now, and everything's looking very good. And this is my first time to come up here and do this, so I don't know what all I'm supposed to request, but we just like to get our permit approved and put the festival in.
There you go. Move on.
Anything citywide, permit wise?
No, I don't think there's any big changes.
No special requests this year?
No, that's it. We always have our big team meeting and hash out parking layouts and traffic flow, and we kind of do that when we,
Right.
you know, like in another month. When do we usually do that? Around after spring break? Yeah.
One thing that we're actually very excited about is we've been working with Urban, having a geographically correct map made of Sandfest, where we had all of the bollards marked with GPS coordinates, the porta potties, the trash cans, the emergency entrances on the north and south. And now we're placing the fencing and the tents and whatnot. And so as we grow or continue to grow and evolve, then that map will kind of grow and evolve with us. We're pretty excited about that.
That's great.
That's a great idea.
Well, y'all doing an outstanding job.
Thank you.
We're excited.
Well,
I'll make a motion to approve the special events permit.
All right. There's a second?
I'll second.
All right, there's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Brian, please call the roll.
Owen,
Yes.
Councilmember Krueger,
Yes.
Councilmember Chambers,
Yes.
Councilmember Seelow,
Yes.
Councilmember Christensen,
Yes.
Councilmember Park,
Abstain.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right. So now we're going to item 7, which is to close into executive session under section 551071 of the Texas Open Meetings Act to meet with our attorney to seek legal advice on a matter in which is the duty of the attorney of the city council under the Texas disciplinary rules, the professional conduct of the State Bar of Texas that clearly conflicts with Texas Open Meetings Act relating to Beach Access Road 1B. And we'll try to make it quick.